His eyes suddenly noticed Woon Sowol not very prominent in the corner of the palace. At this moment, Wipok suddenly knelt down again. This little girl is Wipok of the Mountain Willow Manor in Yueyang Castle. Sir has been in this palace for a long time. It will probably take some time to adapt to the outside world. Our Mountain Willow Manor agrees serving you, sir, will definitely make you satisfied. Sir, please have respect and spare this young lady's life. Mnan soared and thought, the Mountain Willow Manor? I've never heard of this name, so it seems like you're the most vocal person here, right? Wipok quickly explained that the owner of the Mountain Willow Manor is the young lady's husband. He is a warrior of the Yongluong period, less than 300 years old, and is also considered a genius. If you need it, you can even take my husband's body. At that time, I will wholeheartedly serve you for the rest of my life. In her heart, she secretly thought, as long as she can continue to live, can she not give up everything? Tricks, if its cultivation level is so profound, then serving it a little is fine. Maybe you can even turn evil into good, making your cultivation level increase one step further. Mnan heard these words. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Haha, that woman is so cruel. You think it's so beautiful. How can a small Duong Quang Ky healer as the owner of a small village be able to attract me? But I seem to remember the name the Mountain Willow Manor you just mentioned. You can rest assured that when I go out, I will definitely go there to drain their spiritual energy. Wipok. His face turned pale and scared. Why is it like that? This level of evil is even worse than I imagined. Mnan ignored her attitude and laughed loudly towards the rest of the group. Before that, I will absorb all the spiritual energy of you idiots. You first. Having finished speaking, he once again emerged from Pyong Elder's body. After a moment, all the remaining people were sucked dry, leaving only 3 Woon Sowol people left in the main hall. Wipok sighed helplessly. Even Noe Wang was sucked dry by it. Mnan flew in front of them and covered them with blood. I decided not to kill you. Do you want to know the reason why? Wipok gritted her teeth to calm herself down. After a while, she once again showed her lovely expression of admiration toward Mnan. Of course, because of you, sir. Out of great compassion, we saved a way to live for us. Mnan shouted angrily, it's nonsense, I'll tell you the reason I didn't kill that kid first. That's because he is about to become my body. In your appearance you are not yet 100 years old. At such a young age, you already have a cultivation level of about the heroic stage, proving that you have very good natural talent and have a long life. After having your body, I will practice all the way to the immortal realm. This is your honor. Woon Sowol frowned and thought to himself, it's really funny, but I just found out that I can take advantage of this opportunity. If it rushes towards me, I will open the icebox immediately. Mnan then looked at the 2 Mok Yom people. As for why not? If I kill you too, it's because you're women, so I forgive you. After I possess that little person, you will become my sex slaves to help me eliminate yin and replenish yang. Wait, after I have finished eliminating all of you, you will no longer be of any value, but I will not kill you. This is my soft-hearted giving you a way to live, so you must forever thank me for this kindness. After talking nonsense for a while, it then flew towards Woon Sowol and rushed towards it. Woon Sowol looked at the original hero who was quickly rushing towards him. His heart was tense. This guy has grown so big, can he be sealed into that stone mirror? But now there's no other way, but I can only try. I thought he would easily penetrate Woon Sowol's body, but when he was only an arm's length away from Woon Sowol, he used extreme speed. Quickly move aside to avoid. Mnan was a bit angry and snorted coldly, do you think you can avoid me? As soon as he finished speaking, his figure immediately appeared before Woon Sowol. Woon Sowol also reacted extremely quickly, immediately took out the icebox, then took the opportunity to open it. When Mnan saw that, he was frightened and immediately turned and ran away. Damn, when did someone take it? That damn stone mirror? Woon Sowol saw it in his eyes that had shrunk and quickly threw the icebox at it. Mnan, who was running away, was scared when he saw that. Although he tried very hard, there was something inside the box. Some invisible suction force only targets it and pulls it back. Woon Sowol in the distance then uses his inner seal to attack. The spiritual energy on his body turned into countless golden chains that rushed to hold the stone box tightly, helping it to stand firm against the Nguyen-An's struggles, then tried to use his strength to close the box. Nguyen-An was sucked back in. Roared loudly, "Brat, do you dare to think of sealing me again? I've been locked in there for more than 1,000 years. I absolutely will not let you achieve your wish." Woon Sowol's face was sweating like rain. His body was trembling and began to show signs of refusal. "I can't stand it. The stone mirror is about to close. The spiritual energy consumption is also doubling. If this keeps up, I won't be able to hold on. No matter what, I have to close this mirror. That's not good. My spiritual energy is about to run out." Nguyen saw that he couldn't hold on, so he laughed out loud excitedly, "Haha. With only this little treasure, you want to seal me?" Right at this moment there was another stream of spiritual energy blessing the chain. The stone box began to slowly close again. Nguyen-An had not been excited for long before he was once again attracted by that gravitational force. The person appeared. The main culprit is Mok Yom. She walked next to Woon Sowol and asked, "Just close that mirror, right?" Woon Sowol saw her coming and was a bit surprised. "Senior sister." Mok Yom frantically pushed spiritual energy. "If we talk about spiritual energy, I have much more than you. Let me do the spiritual pushing." With Mok Yom joining Nguyen-An, he quickly became unable to resist. He had no other choice but to beg towards Wipok. "That woman, come over here and help me. Just help me stop the two of them. Once successful, I will guarantee to teach you my qigong and magic. I will help you reach the heavenly bow stage, and I can even teach you how to become immortal." Woon Sowol gritted his teeth and tried to advise, "Senior, don't believe it. Damn it, when you push the spiritual power, you can't even say it." Nguyen-An continues to mentally manipulate, "No matter who you are in the group. Whoever helps me, I will." Wipok shouted angrily, "Who do you think I am? You crazy guy just said he wanted to kill our innocent Mountain Willow Manor, but now you want me to help you? You bastard, go die." When Nguyen saw her attack, he was so scared. Don't do that. I can swear to heaven. I will try my best to help you reach heaven. Period. If I keep my words, in my next life I will be reincarnated as a sow. Everyone can come and help me quickly. Help me, you damn bastards." No matter how much he screams, in the end finally sealed into the icebox. Woon Sowol did not relax at all and immediately ran to press the lid of the box tightly. The seal was still not stable. I had to use my strength to hold it back. The group of people at I breathed a sigh of relief. It's finally over. Wipok's face was still extremely tense. "I thought I had seen through this world, but I didn't expect to still encounter such danger. Today, this is really the first time I've encountered something like this." After a while she remembered something and turned her head to glance back. The direction she looked back was where No's body was. Wang. Thinking for a moment, she decided to wrap his body in silk and take it away. After returning, I will help you with the funeral arrangements. Woon Sowol also started taking care of him at this time. Took out a pill to swallow and restore spiritual energy. Wipok glanced at him silently thinking. Luckily this guy sealed that original person, otherwise I would have died today. I say it like that, and he clearly knew how to seal the original spirit, but he waited until he was in danger to take out the stone mirror. This guy is really cunning. If he had taken out the stone box sooner, then maybe No-A-Won won't die either. The more she thought about it, the more anger filled her body as she walked up behind Woon Sowol and questioned, "If you hadn't hesitated before, No-A-Won would have. If you don't die, how will you compensate for this?" Woon Sowol's face was filled with doubt and he turned to look at her. Wipok's thoughts quickly turned around in his head. In fact, besides No-A-Won's death, other things should be ignored. The thorn in my side is that Pyong Elder is dead. I can monopolize all the treasures here. The rest of this brat must be handled very carefully. Woon Sowol stood up and asked in doubt, "What does the senior mean?" On the outside, she seemed so normal, but on the inside, she couldn't help but curse. This woman is really shameless. It's obvious that I saved her. Wipok quickly explained, "You have committed an unforgivable sin, so don't try to ask for any treasure. Even the spirit stone is not qualified to take it away, do you understand?" In her heart, she secretly laughed coldly. "After all, when I started, I had no intention of giving you anything." Woon Sowol sighed sadly, "I understand, it's just the senior." Before his words could even leave his mouth, he was interrupted by Wipok. What does a sinner like you want to make excuses for? Un Sowol just mocked Yom next door. I made a mistake, so I don't have the right to take away the treasure. But my sister is not guilty of any crime. According to the contract, does she have the right to choose a treasure, right? Wee Pei Ok's face was gloomy, staring at Mok Yom. Mok Yom's face was equally gloomy, looking coldly at her. After a while, Wee Pei Ok smiled extremely cunningly. It seems I can't keep them alive. If we let them go like that, revealing this precious secret that we only meet once every 300 years, if they spread bad words about us. If you break your word, it will greatly affect my reputation. She quickly took out her magic weapon and looked at them coldly. Dead people don't need any treasures. Un Sowol, and he sighed in his heart, thinking that everything was calm, but unexpectedly, a new threat appeared. After thinking for a moment, he spoke up to advise, "Senior, please calm down a bit and don't let your greed get the best of you. It's time to blind your eyes and make the wrong decision." Wee Pei Ok coldly snorted, "It's not even the turn of a brat like you to teach me." Un Sowol immediately called out his shield to block it. Mok Yom, who was next to him, shouted worriedly, "Junior brother, be careful." Then he raised his hands and released 2 explosive bullets. Then he threw them straight at Wee Pei Ok. Wee Pei Ok raised his hand to call out a protective light curtain of spiritual energy to block it coldly. What a mediocre skill. "You guys, this is an invitation to drink. If you don't want to drink the wine as punishment, then I will fulfill it for you. Mok Yom didn't pay attention to her and asked Un Sowol, "Is junior brother still okay?" Un Sowol was relieved of the pressure and took the opportunity to breathe out. "Luckily, my sister had attacked her to prevent her from continuing to attack." Wee Pei Ok looked at the 2 people opposite and silently analyzed, "This kid is wearing even though I used a shield to block the attack. But it seems like I've exhausted my spiritual energy. I'll slowly deal with you later. I'll deal with this woman first." After a while, Mok Yom was beaten so hard by her that she couldn't stand it. Wee Pei Ok laughed out loud excitedly. "You actually dared to directly block the fire attack of the green spirit. Unfortunately, that good junior brother of you can't withstand my attack. You can only stand to the side and watch the show." Un Sowol silently thought in his head, "She has a light curtain of aura to protect her. Her poison won't have any effect. I didn't expect my sister to be as crazy as when she was in the magic forest. There was only one way left. This was all because you forced me." Thinking of this, he immediately put his hand into his storage bag to prepare. Take something out. On the other side, Wee Pei Ok still doesn't know what's about to happen. She's still excited and crazy, attacking Mok Yom. "You're tired too, this should end." At this moment, she sensed something and turned her head to glance back. As soon as she turned her head, she saw Un Sowol rushing towards her at extremely fast speed. "What the hell? Aren't you already barely alive? Why is suddenly so aggressive? Wait, what are you going to do?" Un Sowol didn't pay attention to her and quickly took out the icebox. The original guy locked in the icebox was now depressed, holding his head and screaming, "It wasn't easy to have a chance to escape, but I got beaten up by those moss shrimps and got sealed again. It's really disgusting." At that moment, suddenly a golden light shined on its face outside. Nguyen just turned his head. Looking out, he immediately saw Wee Pei Ok. As soon as he saw her, he immediately shouted angrily, "You ungrateful woman! You dare to refuse my good intention to seal me, this time. Hey, I will absolutely not forgive you." After Un Sowol released the original brother to let him deal with Wee Pei Ok, he did not relax at all. On the contrary, his face became even more tense. Wee Pei Ok was quickly sucked dry by Mnan. Next, it sneered at the 2 Un Sowol people. "You guys actually dare to let me go. It seems like you saw that stone mirror as a blade of grass to save. Is it online? What a bunch of idiots. This time I absolutely won't let you seal me again." After talking nonsense for a while, seeing the 2 of Un Sowol still standing there calmly as if they weren't there, doubts began to arise in my heart. But these 2 guys didn't react at all to my laughter. They weren't afraid of my threats either. What should we do now? Un Sowol calmly said to him, "If your senior kills us, it won't be of any benefit to you. Please don't lose your precious freedom for the sake of immediate gain. Personally, if the seniors could open up a little, wouldn't that be beneficial for both sides?" As he spoke, he didn't know whether it was accidental or intentional, and he raised the icebox in his hand. After listening to Nguyen An, he coldly snorted, "Don't dream about it, what you said is truly correct. Killing or not killing those ants is all the same to me. It's just that stone mirror, I really don't care. I don't like it at all. If you give me the stone mirror, I will let you go." Woon Sowol's face wrinkled and he thought to himself, "This seems like the deal has failed." He gritted his teeth again to stop moving. "I'm about to open the stone box, then there's no way. We can only rely on this stone mirror to deal with you." Nguyen laughed loudly, turned around and flew to the pile of treasures behind him. "Ha ha. Do you think you can defeat me just by relying on that stone mirror? I have to teach you a lesson. I will absorb all the spiritual energy of these treasures first, and can more or less increase the spiritual energy. After a while, the treasures will all be destroyed. It sucks into waste. Unfortunately, these treasures are also of great benefit to me. Although it is a bit unfortunate to be destroyed, I only need to have that damn stone mirror, then these things. There's nothing worth mentioning. Absorbing all the spiritual energy inside that pile of treasures, the aura on the original's body has increased significantly." Woon Sowol looked at it hovering in front of him and secretly sighed in his heart. Its speed has increased a lot. I wonder if it will succeed this time? No matter whether you can succeed or not, you definitely can't give up. If you give up, then the only way left is death. You absolutely can't give up. Woon Sowol, at this moment it rushed towards me again, urging its spiritual energy to open the icebox. But Nguyen An was on guard this time. As soon as he opened the icebox, it immediately threw a stone. "Hey, you thought I was going to get hit again? Caught fire?" Woon Sowol was hit in the right hand by a thrown stone. The stone box was immediately thrown away. Nguyen An immediately increased his speed and rushed towards you. "Finally about to have your body, boy yen mind. I will definitely use your body well." Mok Yom not far away is terrified. "Junior brother, don't do it." Woon Sowol is helpless and has no choice but to close his eyes and wait for death. But right at this moment, the bracelet that Yi Chung-so gave him suddenly had a strong blue light shining out. Nguyen An was immediately blocked by it when he was rushing towards it. Woon Sowol looked at the bracelet in surprise. It was, did Yi Chung-so's arm save me? Nguyen An stepped back and shouted in fear, "It's a protective bracelet. Why does your brat have this bracelet? What relationship do you have with those brats who came here hundreds of years ago?" Woon Sowol didn't pay attention to it and looked at the bracelet to analyze it. 2 more of the remaining 8 crystals above the bracelet had turned dark. Previously, 4 crystals had turned dark. Maybe it was consumed by Yi Chung-so when fighting against the original brother. This bracelet can actually resist the original brother. It seems that this is not a normal bracelet. Mok Yom shouted loudly in the back. Monk, at this moment, I quickly ran away. Having finished speaking, she immediately threw out a bomb. The whole main hall was immediately covered with a film of black smoke. The 2 Woon Sowol took this opportunity to quickly head towards ran outside, but after running a few steps they stopped. Damn, the door couldn't be opened. It seemed like we had to deal with Nguyen first. Woon Sowol looked at the jade bracelet in his hand again. Using the remaining 6 crystals, can I defeat Nguyen An? If you can arbitrarily control the crystal on the bracelet, you might be able to successfully block it. Just now when the bracelet started, the spiritual energy appeared and was consumed like a flood. Is it necessary to spend a large amount of spiritual energy? Only force can activate the bracelet? Chew the rest of the pills to supplement spiritual energy and try one more time. Damn, only 2 crystals reacted. Spiritual energy is still not enough. At this moment, Mok Yom left again. Came to hold his hand tightly. In front of Woon Sowol's surprised eyes, she quickly transferred her spiritual energy to him. I already said that when it comes to spiritual energy, I have more than you, have you forgotten? With Mok Yom's spiritual power helping all the remaining crystals on the bracelet, they reacted. Blue light spread out from inside again very quickly, covering the entire palace. Nguyen An in the distance, clutching his head in fear and screaming, "There is nowhere to hide, don't let my strength, my freedom." Woon Sowol took advantage of this moment to mobilize the remaining spiritual energy to hold the icebox tightly. Next I immediately used extremely fast speed to rush towards Nguyen An. This is the last chance that the bracelet gives me. Although it is very dangerous, with senior sister here, maybe I can succeed. Nguyen An is ahead. Seeing him rush towards him, he angrily shouted, "You bastard!" Woon Sowol didn't care and immediately jumped up. The chance had finally come. Jumping in front of him, he immediately opened the icebox. But at this moment, Mnan suddenly took a deep breath. "Do you think I will just sit back and be tied down?" Before Woon Sowol could seal it, it spat out a giant demon face and hit him. Mok Yom below saw this and was frightened. "Be careful, junior brother. Woon Sowol's body is empty." He couldn't help but tremble on the spot. His heart was extremely confused. His body was not in control. Clearly the spiritual energy was enough. Why did this happen? Could it be because of this skull? Seeing that the skull had come close, Woon Sowol still refused to dodge and just stood there. Mok Yom had no other choice but to jump up and call out the protective light curtain to fight back for him. This move. But unexpectedly, as soon as the spiritual light screen collided with the skull, it immediately melted away. Then it calmly passed through Mok Yom's body and continued to rush towards Woon Sowol. Woon Sowol's body still refused to listen to the person on the spot. For the first time he felt death so close to him. Mok Yom saw the skull continuing to rush towards Woon Sowol and was frightened. For a moment, she had no way to stop her. She could only scream frantically. Her junior brother quickly moved away. The thoughts in her mind quickly turned around. Junior brother had taught me many useful spells when I was attacked. He still didn't abandon me when he was injured. He took care of me wholeheartedly. He was the benefactor who saved my life. Stupid brother to the end, no matter what. Abandoned me, so I absolutely cannot abandon him. I feel a wave of power in my body. This power is the same as before, I understand. I know how to help my junior brother. I know how to suppress the original brother. Mok Yom entered a crazy state where his spiritual energy exploded violently. The original brother's skull was temporarily blocked by her. Again. On the opposite side, Mnan also exhaled a little. That damn blue light had finally diminished. But looking towards where the two of Woon Sowol was, it startled him. Huh? But can you stop my skull? This woman turned out to be a celestial being. Damn mongrel spirit beast. I have to absorb your inner pill, drink all your blood. That damn bracelet is about to exhaust my spiritual energy. But as long as my skull can swallow these two kids, then I'm still the winner. My skull will swallow them all for me. Woon Sowol is behind Mok Yom right now has gradually calmed down. The feeling of that oppressive power is gradually disappearing. The light on this skull is so scary. Moreover, it can control spiritual energy. Mok Yom in front at this time also has spiritual energy. It was completely consumed. She was extremely worried. Her junior brother still couldn't move. She had to try to hold on, but she didn't know how much longer it would take. If she couldn't, she had to think of a way. At this moment, Woon Sowol jumped up again, thanking his sister. In front of Mok Yom's surprised eyes, Woon Sowol rushed straight towards Mnan. Fortunately his sister promptly took action. I just had time to recover a little spiritual energy. Mnan has become weaker, now is the best chance to seal it. Mnan saw Woon Sowol rushing towards him and was scared. The what? Weren't you being controlled just now? It didn't dare to confront Woon Sowol directly and immediately turned around and ran away. Woon Sowol gritted his teeth and grabbed the icebox to chase after him. His speed had indeed slowed down. Maybe I could catch up. Mnan was running away and suddenly turned around. Damn you kid, don't be happy too soon. I will swallow you alive before you open the stone mirror. Woon Sowol's face was full of determination. Mind, when it comes to speed, I won't lose to you. As soon as Mnan rushed to the stone box, it was immediately opened. Being sucked in by the gravitational force inside, he couldn't resist. He could only scream madly for help. Please. Wait, I know it's wrong, don't seal me, this is impossible. After a while, the original spirit was finally sealed again. Woon Sowol used a rope to carefully tie the icebox tightly before exhaling. Luckily, the help of his sister was able to successfully seal the original crystal. I also used a high-class magic weapon to lock it up. Maybe nothing will happen again. That's right, is your sister still okay? Mok Yom shook his head and smiled. So tired but not like last time. At least this time I'm not injured. Rest for a few days and I'll be fine again. What about you? Woon Sowol breathed a sigh of relief. I'm fine. Just a little emotional. Things these past few days are like a nightmare. I'm not sure if I'm really in a dream anymore. Mok Yom glared loudly. Both eyes stared at him. Then he reached out and pinched his cheek and pulled a few times. Does it hurt? Woon Sowol hugged his face and smiled. It hurts so much, sister. It hurts to the point of tears. It looks like maybe I'm not dreaming. Mok Yom smiled contentedly. So lucky, this time. Hey, you finally helped me a little. If it was a dream, I would be a little regretful. The urgent task now is to grasp the time to restore spiritual energy. I will give you some spiritual supplement pills. Woon Sowol saw her adorable, touching appearance and immediately blushed. After a while, the two of them had completely recovered. They went to the place where they packed their trophies in front of them and felt exclaimed. Recovering spiritual energy only took half a day, but unexpectedly dividing the treasures took more than half a day. Didn't we spend a lot of time dividing the spiritual herbs, spiritual stones and spiritual talismans in the bag? Also luckily, there aren't many treasures left. A block of saffron and a rod of the fire spirit. There are also 2 magic weapons and a spirit needle. In addition there is the windmill carriage and 4 the red-winged heavenlied is in the 4 families of beasts. I don't know how to use these 2 magic items, so let's take a closer look. One is the jade ring. Its effect is to help speed up the recovery of spiritual energy. Another is the Nam Kian jade belt. Its function is to be able to form a kind of outer protective layer to help protect the user. Woon Sowol couldn't help but feel excited. This jade ring is similar to the rings from the secret trading society before. They were quite attractive to me at that time. Mok Yom in the back was sad and sullen, feeling like none of them were normal. What a headache. However, when dividing treasures, if they are not divided well, conflicts can easily arise, so you must be careful. If junior brother already has strong armor, then this jade belt has no use for junior brother. Moreover, my junior brother always gives me good things. After thinking for a moment, she pointed her finger and said, What do you think about me taking the jade Nam Kian belt? You should also choose the treasure you like. Woon Sowol simply smiled. Okay, as long as senior sister likes it. Woon Sowol then sat down holding a wooden box containing a block of turmeric. Mok Yom asked suspiciously, I want that? Woon Sowol nodded. Well, for me, this treasure is the most useful. He picked up the Jade Emperor block and silently sighed. Thank goodness that the Jade Emperor block was okay. Attached it to the original sword. And the silver armor strengthens them into magic weapons, which for me is an extremely beneficial thing. Mok Yom continued to say, just now you chose first and now it's me. Woon Sowol silently thought in his heart. Smiled, is senior sister taking care of me? He did not refuse her good intentions and nodded. Okay. The remaining magic weapons are easy to divide. I take the jade ring. Sister takes the Ton Lin Dia fire stick? My weapons are swords and rods, which have no effect on me, but for senior sister who lacks an offensive magical weapon, it will probably have a great effect, her spiritual power. It's very abundant, so there's no need for a jade ring. My spiritual power is quite low, so I need it more. Mok Yom nodded. I have no opinion, but... After dividing the treasures, the two of them immediately left the rift and returned to Yueyang City. Woon Sowol looked at the pile of magic weapons on the table and thought. The sister gave her only the spirit needle, the red heavenly winged and the windmill carriage. Like she said, things of we pay okay. They're so famous in Yueyang City. It's impossible to blatantly use them openly in front of many people, but they're really all good items. If I hadn't given her a few talismans. I felt a bit uncomfortable in my heart. Like she didn't take those magic talismans. In his mind, the situation of dividing the talismans at that time appeared. After Mok Yom received the talisman, he immediately divided half and gave it back to him. Woon Sowol's eyes widened in surprise. Sister, what are you doing here? Mok Yom smiled. Let me take it. Woon Sowol received the spell, his face still filled with doubt. Aren't these top-level spirit talismans? Why did senior sister give them to me? Mok Yom explained, just keep it first, sooner or later there will be something you need to use. Woon Sowol just glanced at the stone mirror that sealed the original brother. I bought all the sealing talismans sold in the market and pasted them on the stone mirror, so it should be okay. The spiritual herbs have also been refined into medicinal pills. Then, what's left is the turmeric block. Using this item is quite labor-intensive and takes a lot of time. Before refining it, I need to take care of a few things first. I can successfully apply it. I was able to make the original brother and get my life back. All of this was fortunately thanks to my meeting with Yi Chun-so. If it weren't for the protection of the jade necklace he gave me, I would have died a long time ago. After cremation, he gave the remains to his family members. In addition to the bracelet, there was also a letter, probably his will, waiting until he met his relatives. The Yi family is in Yanam. I will hand over the jade pendant and the letter in the letter bag to them, and then when I have time, I will strengthen the elemental sword and silver armor energy. You just returned to the second tea shop. Excitedly ran out to welcome you, your senior has finally returned. Woon Sowol nodded as he approached and asked, did anything interesting happen while I was gone? Tunhi explained, the thing that everyone has been discussing the most lately is the story of Mrs. Wee and the fake Pyong elder. Many people say that it has been a long time since anything as strange as the two sides have ever happened. Dr. Duong Kwong has been out for a long time and has not returned. Not long ago, the Mountain Willow Manor even sent people to listen to news of Mrs. Wee. Woon Sowol sighed in her heart, despite the as long as my sister and I don't talk, no one will know, but if anyone sees Mrs. Wee and the windmill carriage entering the lake, if there is a witness, bring this story to the Mountain Willow Manor when that time comes. We can't leave Yueyang City. After thinking for a moment, he continued to ask the second child, okay, I know, besides, do you know where the Yi Yanam family is? This is a famous family with a long history, there are many outstanding wizards from this family. Tunhi lowered his head sadly, I'm really sorry, I really don't know about this. Perhaps the elders will know, do you need my help? Woon Sowol shook his head and smiled, then there's no need, I'll just ask him a quick question. He secretly sighed in his heart. He was really surprised, even the clever boy working at the tea shop didn't know anything. I know this, but I've never heard of them. After a while, the second child returned to Woon Sowolen's place again. I asked around but no one knew the Yi Yanam family. Woon Sowol smiled, it seems that the Yi Yanam family is not as famous as I thought. It's been hard for me, I couldn't find out news about the Yi family. Woon Sowol immediately didn't know what to do. Next, what should I do? When Tunhi saw his sad appearance, his heart was filled with guilt. The noble always gave me spirit stones, but this time I couldn't help, which is really embarrassing. Suddenly he remembered something, he cried out. Then quickly turned around and ran away. Wait a minute. Woon Sowol looked at his back in surprise, did he remember something? Huh? After a while, the second young man returned with someone, the old man was this guest. As soon as that person entered, he immediately exclaimed, you are the guest who wants to hear about the Yi family. Yanam? Woon Sowol nodded, that's right, it's me. The old man came and sat down opposite him, you're being polite. I haven't heard anyone mention the name Yi family Yanam for a long time. Listen, someone wanted to listen, so he went over to take a look. Woon Sowol smiled, asking the old man to tell me the details about the Yi Yanam family. The young man, please clean his ears and listen. The old man also did not hide anything quickly. Long story, the Yi Yanam family is the most famous family in Yanam. The Yi family's magi all wear robes with rivulet phoenix patterns on their shoulders. Every time they appear, they attract the attention of others. I am also one of them. Woon Sowol surprised, rivulet phoenix? Isn't that a spirit beast that can ward off demons and exorcise evil spirits? The old man nodded, yes, it is quite common for families to use spirit beasts as patterns. This is also very normal. Woon Sowolen's heart suddenly awakened, saying so crystal protection bracelet is not just, thinking after a while he asked again, if the Yi Yanam family was so strong then why doesn't anyone know anything about this now? The old man sighed, this story must be about 300 years ago, after more and more of the Yi family's magicians went into the rift and did not return, the Yi family gradually went into decline. After losing so many excellent warriors, the Yi family was gradually eliminated by the families in Yanam. That's all I know about what happened after that. I heard that there were several major wars in the future. In the end, the Yi family failed miserably and fled from Yanam. Woon Sowol asked again, do you know where they went? The old man stroked his beard and replied, at that time they might have gone to Linsong region, after that I don't know. I have never been out of Yanam, so I don't know the news in other places. I only know the Yi family has disappeared from Yanam. Woon Sowol raised his chin in thought. It turned out that he was truly grateful to him. In his heart he silently made a decision. It seems he has to go to Linsong region for a trip. That old teacher still sat there and didn't leave. Woon Sowol was a little suspicious. Did he have anything else to say? The old man sighed. The reason why so many wizards admired the Yi Yanam family at that time was because of their righteous behavior. At that time, there were many families that claimed to be righteous, but the family did something wrong. There are very few righteous people. I don't know what the young knight's relationship is with the Yi family. I just hope you don't look down on them, even if they have lost power. Woon Sowol stood up and clasped his hands together. He bowed his head sincerely. The boy had already memorized. Switching scene to the small scene. Young Moon in Linsong region. In the town square at this time there were many people gathered. On the stage there was an old man. The head is running a martial arts competition. Thank you to all the great heroes who came to support. Today is the day of our Yi family's martial arts competition. Your Excellency Yi Damyang would like to announce the rules. Martial arts to you all. No matter who it is, as long as they win, they can marry my maid. After listening, the crowd below began to discuss. This is the martial arts training of Yi Moonbi, a famous beauty in this young moon. Who will be the ultimate winner? Heard that the one family was also participating. Woon Sowol was also present here and in the crowd below. He looked at the two people on the stage and silently thought, that old man probably had an early stage of cultivation base, plus his woman is a famous beauty, no wonder it's so bustling here. The old man on the stage continued speaking again. There's something I have to clarify. Today's martial arts competition is not like everyone else's. When my daughter's moral character is low, she can't beat the good heroes here. So it's impossible to choose the final winner. So today's martial arts match will be between the challengers fight each other. The winner in the end is the winner. Woon Sowol is a bit interested. The front of the arena is arranged quite beautifully. It seems that this Yungmoon town is quite popular in martial arts competitions. But body fighting is a bit rare. I have seen countless life and death battles, but today's body fight is still the first time I have seen it. Yi Damyang just finished saying the rules below. Immediately there was a young man who volunteered to go up. Let me go first, he secretly thought in his heart. I have to explore for my young man, see what the opponent's base is, maybe there are only a few. Few people have the strength in this small town the size of the palm of your hand. The people below saw him coming up and shouted loudly, he is a member of the one family, it seems the rumors are not false. Someone challenged the field. Woon Sowol sensed the aura on the other person's body and smiled. His cultivation level was in the middle stage. Looking at his confident appearance, it seemed that his cultivation level was in this young moon also ranked quite high. Very quickly that young man defeated the first challenger. After taking care of the opponent with one punch, he was extremely confident to provoke below the next person. Yi Damyang walked to the side and shouted loudly, is there no one else who wants to challenge? Woon Sowol's face below was full of excitement. I didn't expect that someone with a lower cultivation base than me would have such strong fighting power. I kind of wanted to try it. Thinking of this, he glanced back. Yi family's female side. However, although Yanam's Yi family is currently in a bit of a slump, she didn't expect it to fall to such an extent that she still has to use martial arts to recruit herself. Martial arts to recruit herself. Normally, it's because the female heroes have high martial arts skills and want to go through the arena to find the husband they want. But this Moonbi is so poorly cultivated that she can't control herself, so this marriage it's no different from marrying and selling a daughter. At this moment, a loud voice rang out from below. Ha ha, thanks to everyone's love, I have had my victory today. Thank you to all the noble people passing by for your guidance. Yi Damyang couldn't contain his excitement when he saw that young man. Isn't this one Hyojong, the third son of the one family? This person has a late-stage cultivation level, and is also the son of a famous family in Yungmoon town. Today's move is really worth it. Yi Moonbi on the stage was also surprised. Even though I don't want to get married to someone I've never met, if the other person is Mr. One from a strong family and doesn't have any bad habits, then it seems pretty good, so I don't feel wronged. After a while, no one came up. One Hyojong spoke up again. It seemed like there were no other challengers. Yi Damyang in the back heard that and immediately understood. Hey, I'm still standing there dumbfounded. What are you doing out here? He quickly stood up and raised his voice. Today, through martial arts techniques, he got to know the good heroes. It was an honor to meet those with high martial arts skills and profound cultivation. Yi Mo is truly extremely honored. His vision has also opened up a lot. If there are no other challengers, then Yi Mo would like to announce the final winner, at this moment above again. There was an old man who jumped down to stop. What's the hurry? I haven't participated yet. When the crowd saw this old man suddenly appear, their faces wrinkled. The audience below also frowned. They exclaimed in horror, "What is Ghost Cho? What is that Ghost Cho? Is this a magician with a cultivation level like this?" That's right, he is a Ma Chul Gi. I heard that this guy only accepts concubines and doesn't get married. There are already dozens of concubines in the house. Yi Domyung's face was extremely gloomy and he thought to himself, the old man is over 300 years old. At his age, he had the audacity to participate in a martial arts competition involving teenage girls. Is this something a normal person can do? What a shameless and thick-faced person, and I heard that after he accepted the card, if he felt disgusted, he would ruthlessly throw it away. One Hyojong asked Ma Chul suspiciously. As far as the junior knows, the senior has never officially married before, so today he comes to practice martial arts with the senior. Is this serious? If the senior wins today, you must officially take her as your wife. Ma Chul snorted coldly and did not give him any good looks. Whether I take a wife or a concubine is my business. I don't need many people. I just want to marry the Yi family's young girl to be my concubine. Isn't this a good thing for the Yi family? Based on you, do you still want to show off to me? One Hyojong felt angry and coldly snorted. Speaking so boldly was truly shameless. In his heart, he thought so, but on the outside, he still tried to put on a smile and wave his hand. You misunderstood, I'm just surprised that you came to participate in a martial arts competition like this. Ma Chul shouted harshly, stop wasting words. If you want to fight then quickly start. If you want to admit defeat then get out quickly. One Hyojong's eyes narrowed, damn. That day after accidentally meeting her on the street, I could never forget her. I couldn't let Miss Yi become his concubine. This is shameless. But if I fight with him, my odds of winning right now are really very low, if not completely impossible to win. But if this is martial arts, Ma Chul Gi probably won't kill me. No matter what, I have to try. Even if I use up all the spiritual talismans on my body, I still have to risk it. After thinking about it, he clasped his hands and pointed towards Ma Chul Gi. Say it out, senior, please advise. Ma Chul Gi immediately condensed the magic. If that's the case then I will complete it for you. I just hope you don't lose too early, play with me a little first. Just now right now standing outside watching is so boring. One Hyojong didn't say much and immediately threw out a few talisman leaves. And quickly rushed towards Ma Chul Gi. But it just flew in. In front of him, he cast a pile of dirt to block it. The remaining talismans were also completely unable to penetrate his defense. One Hyojong's face was there was a cold sweat breaking out. Those were my strongest spirit talismans, but they couldn't even give him a scratch. Ma Chul raised his hand to cast magic. Fighting back, that's all it is, it's so boring. One Hyojong didn't have time to dodge at all and was immediately hit by the attack and flew back. Ma Chul Gi walked in front of him and smiled. The winner the match has been decided. Does anyone else want to challenge? If there's no one, then I have to go pick up my concubine. Yi Moonbi sat sadly on one side, seemingly resigned to her fate. Ma Chul Gi walked over and grabbed her chin, looking at her. Look, what a beautiful little lady. If you become my 40th concubine, you will have a happy life, ha ha. At that moment, there was a loud noise behind him. The noise from the audience below rang out. Wait, is that person going to challenge? It's impossible that Ma Chul Gi is a strange-looking doctor. This is the first time I've seen this person. Who is he? The person on the stage was Woon Sowol. Ma Chul Gi just turned around. He then said that the brat pretends to want to challenge the waiter. Ma Chul Gi looked at him with disdain and sighed. The kid is screwing his nose, yet where does this cleanliness come from? But very quickly his eyes widened in surprise. Not good. This kid is still so young and has an early stage cultivation level like me. I don't have the face to be polite to a brat, but I can't ignore this brat. After a moment of silence, he spoke up. Who are you? Say your name. Un Sowol's face was full of doubts. Who I am doesn't seem to matter, I'm just a passerby who came to see the excitement. Is there a rule here that isn't a young moon person? Can I participate in martial arts? Yi Damyong immediately spoke up. Without this rule, the young knight was completely qualified to participate in the martial arts competition. In his heart, he silently prayed, although he could not determine the identity of this brat, but I can confirm that he is definitely much stronger than that old and ugly Ma Chol Gi. I really hope this young man can win. Un Sowol immediately nodded when he heard that. If that's the case, then senior, please give me a lot of advice. I really hope this junior can win. Ma Chol Gi's face darkened and he felt extremely uncomfortable. In fact, I never thought I would be in a martial arts competition. This time, he met a handsome monk. He had no other choice but to agree to compete. Okay, let's begin. The two of them then quickly took their own magic weapons. At this time, everyone in the middle of the stage was watching extremely attentively. Look quickly. This is a martial arts match between two martial arts fighters that is really worth looking forward to. I don't know who will win. I really hope that Fuang will win. What can that young soldier destroy Ma Chol's morale? Un Sowol glanced below thinking, there are too many spectators here. It is impossible to use the sword technique to destroy evil, this time still using that technique. Before thinking of this, his hands immediately condensed into 2 bullets full of bombs. Ma Chol Gi tightly grasped the magic weapon and took the lead to rush over and laugh loudly. He didn't even have a magic weapon but dared to rush forward and jump. War? You brat are really arrogant. I have to quickly fight and deal with you and then return to the cave. He quickly spun the iron hammer, then swung his hand and threw it into the air. Un Sowol seeing this, my heart was filled with doubt. What attack technique is this? Very quickly he understood the opponent's intentions. The iron hammer flew into the air, then continuously fell towards him. Un Sowol did not flinch and immediately raised his shield to block. The protective spiritual energy light screen was also called out. When the audience below saw this, they all gasped in surprise. The attack power was so strong, it was truly a meteor hammer. This was the power of the enemy. Is the scholar similar to you? It's really too strong. Un Sowol is the exact opposite. His heart is full of doubts. It's so strange why he doesn't feel like his attack is very powerful. Although there is a huge difference in strength between Trak An KY and Duang Kwang KY, compared to Wei Pei Ox Ton inflammation attack, it is still very far behind. It seems that the method when you're in your normal early stage, you can't threaten me anymore. Ma Chol Gi thinks he still has the upper hand and keeps laughing loudly and mocking. How long are you going to defend? Are you only able to block attacks but not able to fight back? Un Sowol's mouth raised, originally planning to use the clone technique to disrupt his vision, but now it seems there is no need. Next, he waved his hand and threw out all the bullets. Attack. When Ma Chol saw this, he immediately used a light screen to protect his spiritual energy to block it. But Un Sowol's attack was stronger than he could imagine, all the bombs that had just hit him. On his protective light curtain, countless cracks immediately appeared on it, showing signs of being ready to crumble. He was extremely frightened. How could this be possible? He doesn't even use magic weapons. Is he really in the early stages of his youth? Just now it was clearly an attack with a normal ball of light, but my protective aura light screen couldn't withstand it. Un Sowol was quite satisfied after launching that move just now. Using the principle of wood to create fire to attack is probably no less powerful. He quickly continued to fire a few more bullets to attack the opponent. Ma Chol Gi had no choice but to gritting his teeth. He braced himself to resist. How many balls of light did he want to shoot? I have no way to fight back, and my spiritual power seems to be decreasing very quickly. This bad boy is so young. I didn't expect to have so much spiritual power. I'm not at the same level at all. To him, damn it, I dare to ruin my good deeds. With so many people watching, I can't admit defeat so miserably. After thinking for a moment, he gathered his spiritual energy and waved his hands and laughed. Let's stop here, what do you think? I don't want to attack you with all my strength in front of everyone, if so then you will definitely be injured. Un Sowol put back his magic and clasped his hands and smiled. I already understand that the senior has given in. Ma Chol Gi didn't dare to get involved and quickly turned around and ran away. We'll compete again when we have a chance. On the outside, we say so, but on the inside, we're snorting coldly. Look at your damn smug look, really. I really don't want to see you again. Waiting for Ma Chol-ji to leave, Yi Damyong then asked below the stage, this is really a once-in-a-year duel. It really opened my eyes. Anyone else down there want to challenge? The crowd below was continuously chatting. The arrogant Ma Chol-ji was even beaten until he was scared and ran away. He was truly a pitiful bastard. That's right, that young magician was after all. What kind of god is that? Yes, does anyone know his identity? Waiting for a while and no one came up, Yi Damyong loudly announced. It seems like there is no one to challenge anymore, so now I would like to announce that the martial arts competition officially ends here. The crowd below once again discussed loudly, the competition was really so special, I don't even dare to go on stage anymore. Yes, this is really a master, I'm a little sorry Yi Moonbi. What a pity you are truly a talented and beautiful couple. Woon Sowol is not like them. His face turned pale and he thought to himself, this is big trouble. A moment later, at the Yi family's mansion outside Young Moon Citadel. Woon Sowol had now followed Yi Damyong here. This is the cold night, please come inside. Woon Sowol sighed and thought, just I didn't feel comfortable telling him the purpose of coming here, so I could only temporarily follow the landlord's arrangements. While this matter hasn't reached an irreversible point, I had to quickly explain to them. Okay. Thinking for a moment he spoke up, it was related to my personal martial arts moves. Before he could finish his sentence, he was interrupted by Yi Damyong. Well, you are my daughter's dream husband. If you have any problem, just ask, I know I will answer everything. Woon Sowol sighed and explained, I participated in the martial arts competition only to prevent the evil actions of Ma Chol-ji, not because I want to get married. I'm really sorry for disappointing everyone. Yi Damyong's face is blank. What is this? He's extremely angry right now. He wants to immediately rush to grab Woon Sowol's hair and lecture him. Doesn't he want to get married and just say sorry? Just now I thought I had finally found a good person. I could safely marry my niece. But in the end I had nothing to say, no matter how I said it. He was also an excellent doctor. I can't be rude. While he was lost in thought, Woon Sowol continued, and this is what I brought from the rift. Seeing that order, Yi Damyong's heart immediately jumped. That's right, this is an item that people in the Yi family only got. Moreover, he said that Yi Chung-so asked to bring it, so isn't it just Lord Uncle? After being absent-minded for a moment, he immediately hesitated. I asked, how did you say these things were taken from inside the rift? Please tell me the situation in detail, I beg you. Tell it for as long as you want. The more detailed the better, I beg you. After listening to Woon Sowol's story, Yi Damyong sighed. It turned out to be so. When my uncle and the people stopped him, Mnan was already there. After hearing this news, I felt sad, but at the same time I felt very relieved. My uncle has a supernatural talent. Pants, plus being an extremely understanding person, is a rare talent of our family. But this suicide note is filled with sadness and regret. It really makes others feel pain. Woon Sowol put his hand in his storage bag again, looking for something. That's right, there's also this. He took out the jade bracelet and put it on the table. This was what he gave me, but I think I should still return it. Again for you guys, it's just that the light on the glass has been lost, so please forgive me. Yi Damyong waved his hand and smiled. This is the crystal protection bracelet that your ancestors often use. If your ancestors gave it to the young knight, then of course we juniors cannot take it back. Woon Sowol felt a little guilty in his heart. Returning the damaged items to them was actually a bit embarrassing. He didn't refuse to smile and take back the jade bracelet. Then I'd be respectful rather than obey. My life is due to crystal protection bracelet to save me. If I don't like that, it's a bit embarrassing. To repay this kindness, Yi family needs me to do anything, please just say. Yi Damyong shook his head. Young knight is the benefactor of our family. How dare you let people work hard? On the contrary, we should probably repay the young knight's kindness. So please young knight, please stay in the dormitory for a few more days so we can entertain you. It was dark. Woon Sowol sat in his room looking out the window and sighed. It was hard to refuse their hospitality. I could only stay here temporarily. I didn't expect them to encounter such tragic things. Hey, I sabotaged their martial arts competition. It seems that this is not a small matter. Although my fate and theirs are not enough to represent them, in the end I accepted help. of the crystal protection bracelet, and even sabotaged people's martial arts rituals, he said the family of the Wang clan of Jawan. In his mind, he remembered the conversation at that time. The family of the Wang clan ordered, "Are you guys moving out?" Yi Damyang sighed, "It would be too long to say. After the rift happened, our family moved to many places in Yanam, finally coming to peace in this young moon. In the process, moving has lost all the spirit mines. The herb garden and the priest forest took countless efforts to plant. It was very difficult for us to take root in this small young moon for several hundred years, but in the end, we still couldn't escape the fate of having to take refuge. One day, the family of the Wang clan suddenly declared that this place belonged to them. After that, I immediately felt like the sky was falling, but what happened? Bad luck still lies behind. They say this place is full of precious mirrors, including countless treasures that they have buried, forcing us to hand over those treasure mirrors that are not real. If we don't get the treasure out, they will punish us. No one will come forward to help us regain justice. That's why we have taken the next step. Hey, I hope that through martial arts moves, I can help my niece get married and protect myself. If I can meet a monk with high cultivation level, then of course it will be beneficial without harming me, or I will meet a method. We can use the strength of our husband's family to help us reclaim justice." Woon Sowol recalled this conversation and sighed in a whisper. He said Wang clan has a magician. He looked like he was in the middle period and a monk looked like he was in the early period. It would have been great if the senior sister was by his side at this time. While he was absent-minded, Yi Damyang came from outside carrying a pot of tea. "Young master, what are you thinking?" Woon Sowol replied, "I was thinking about the matter of Wang clan. I just thought of this way, I don't know if I should say it or not." Yi Damyang is excited. No, you are so worried about us. If you have any way to say it, I will listen attentively." Woon Sowol turned around to look at him. He looked like this. "I will temporarily stay in Yi Palace. After the news of my victory over the heroic warrior Ma Chul Gi spread everywhere, Big Brother Yi went to spread the news again, saying the magician who defeated Ma Chul Gi has become the son-in-law of the Yi family. Saying that I have become the son-in-law of the Yi family, no one here knows my identity, others probably won't suspect anything. By then the Wang clan will definitely hear the news. A warrior of heroic appearance easily defeated Ma Chul Gi as a son-in-law in the Yi family. Then they want to fight with you guys later. We also have to consider carefully, at least they will investigate my identity first, determine whether the rumors are true or not. So even though they cannot die to solve the problem, at least I can still spend a little more time with him." Yi Domyang's heart is indescribably touched. Our family has become like this, but he is still so enthusiastic to help. Is a young man with a big heart. Thinking for a moment, he bowed his head and clasped his hands. Woon Sowol, young knight, saved my daughter. We are already extremely grateful. Now you continue. Please continue to help us. We really don't know how to repay you for this great kindness. For the sake of the Yi family's future, I shamelessly thank you for your support. But in this matter, I still ask young master Woon Sowol. Reconsider. Woon Sowol widened his eyes in surprise. What's going on? Yi Damyang explained that she had to ask Yi Moonbi's opinion because once the news spread out, Yi Moonbi would become a married woman, and if she did, it would be very difficult for her to get married in the future. This will affect Yi Moonbi's lifelong happiness, so I feel the need to tell him. Woon Sowol smiled helplessly. Sorry, I was unintentional, I didn't think of it like that. If Miss Yi doesn't want to, then I can only use the identity of a guest to stay here temporarily. I just hope that you don't blame yourself for that. Yi Damyang smiled. No problem. Waiting for him to leave, Woon Sowol took out the saffron block and started refining the magic weapon. After a lot of hard refining, he finally succeeded, finally upgraded to silver armor, and the sword energy has already become a magic weapon. Because I am not of the Yang light period, I cannot use the true fire samadhi. Fortunately, I have the spirit talisman that my senior sister gave me, otherwise there would be no way to fuse the art. The yellow block is placed in the long sword. The earthen fire's fairy bullets also have a great effect. If I didn't have these two things, I would really have to run to Hoi Nen. At this moment, Yi Moonbi left again. Come in from outside. Have you announced your success yet? Woon Sowol put back his long sword and turned to look at her. Miss, should I call you ma'am? Yi Moonbi smiled. When there's no one else around you can just call him as you please. In the blink of an eye half a year has passed. Woon Sowol nodded. Well, luckily I had your help. I finally succeeded in seclusion. He couldn't help but exclaim in his heart. He didn't expect that Miss Yi only considered for a day and agreed to my proposal. Woon Sowol remembered Yi's words half a year ago. Moonbi said, "He is also a handsome warrior. A passerby cannot be compared to a husband. I agree with the young knight's proposal." Woon Sowol looked at her silently thinking, and organized the wedding. After pretending to her, I immediately focused on seclusion and refining treasures. I didn't pay attention to the rest. It was really a bit heartless. Thinking like that, he immediately asked Yi Moonbi to make it real. Firstly, we have to set a date to publicly reveal ourselves. How about we go out for a walk today, young lady? The two of them then went out for a walk together. Yi Moonbi talked as he walked. It was really strange when you think about it. When the martial arts court didn't give us a toll, it didn't let us into Young Moon. Unexpectedly, now we turn around and suddenly become a big family in Young Moon, directly giving us free passage. Woon Sowol is excited. It seems the news has been spread. Wong the clan doesn't dare to deal with you guys arbitrarily like before anymore. Speaking of this, Woon Sowol sighed in his heart. But now there is still no clan willing to help them. The two people then suddenly embarrassed, he turned his head away. This problem was already very heavy, and having to pretend to be husband and wife was really embarrassing. After walking for a while, Woon Sowol immediately noticed a stall selling jewelry. He turning around to look at Yi Moonbi. We are already married but we haven't given each other tokens yet. Please, ma'am, just choose as you like as a gift from me to you. Yi Moonbi was startled. Huh? That's not very good. Woon Sowol advises, you don't need to worry about money. We have a lot of spirit stones, so you can choose with peace of mind. Yi Moonbi turned around to avoid his eyes. The general doesn't need to worry about his feelings, I'll accept. Woon Sowol secretly sighed in his heart. It seems like he's become awkward again. Is this because I'm being amorous? The two of them continued walking for a while. There was a large crowd of people gathered in front of them. Woon Sowol saw this and immediately became a little interested. In front, it seemed like there was someone doing martial arts, which was a bit special. Huh? Wait a minute, that person is Cowi Hung. Judging by his appearance, he has already been promoted to the middle stage of Thien Tai. I didn't expect to meet him here. Daewon Nation, we have come to the right place. People others are probably also here, right? As soon as I mentioned crap appeared right away. Not far away, Cogi Son was under the stage shouting loudly, "Big brother, you play very well, please continue like that." Woon Sowol immediately greeted her, "Long time no see, Miss Co." When Cogi Son saw that it was Woon Sowol, he ran over excitedly, "Young master, Woon Sowol, is really you?" Woon Sowol smiled, "It's me. I really didn't expect that we could meet here, it's really good." Cogi Son was excited, "That's right. You and Big Brother have always been looking forward to one day meeting again." Woon Sowol heap. "I accidentally heard that in Youngmoon, there appeared a young warrior named Woon Sowol. We were curious so we came to take a look, but we didn't expect it was actually you." Yi Moonbi behind Woon Sowol felt a bit unhappy. No matter how I said it, I was his public wife, yet he was talking to a strange woman in front of me right in the middle of the street. Cogi Son continued to investigate. Asked, "I also heard that the doctor through martial arts has not yet married the beauty of the Yi family. I am still very doubtful whether it is you or not. Is Miss Yi this beautiful woman next to me?" Woon Sowol quickly waved his hand and explained. It was true that this was the case, but it would be a long story. Yi Moonbi saw Woon Sowol's appearance like that and could not help but bow his head sadly. It was dark, brother and sister. Cowi immediately returned to Yi Palace with Woon Sowol. There is really nothing that can describe my feelings right now. I am so happy for the newlywed couple. Congratulations to you too. Getting married is such a great joy to admire, because during this time we neglected to practice. So Cogi Son and I planned to start practicing again through the martial arts path. This time we suddenly learned about something funny. Of Woon Sowol, young knight, my sister and I are really happy. Woon Sowol secretly lamented, "It seems like we need to explain this matter to the Co family brothers and sisters. Otherwise they will have a deeper misunderstanding." Woon Sowol then quickly explained everything to the two of them. After hearing this, Cowi suddenly woke up, "Is that so? Is it because the family is weak and has no one to help? But it's also miserable for Miss Yi. Yi Moonbi on the side kept waving his hands. You're speaking too seriously. After hearing about your family's misfortune, I feel like you're still having a hard time. It's much more difficult. We can say it's the same illness. I completely understand your mood. COWI sincerely said to Woon Sowol, thank you Woon Sowol young knight for explaining the origin of this matter. For us, we were almost taken care of by those dauntless associations. Young Master Woon Sowol is truly a great benefactor of our family. Yi Moonbi who was next to us heard that and turned to look at Woon Sowol. Benefactor? That's right, the young master is the benefactor of our family. When Woon Sowol saw her suddenly so excited, his face was filled with confusion. Yi Moonbi was a little drunk and boldly said everything. With all the words in her heart, she angrily banged on the table and screamed. Luckily, my good fortune was there, so our family was able to escape the difficult situation. We are truly extremely grateful, but this will happen in the future. I'll never be able to get married. I'm afraid I'll have to spend my whole life alone in an empty room. Marriage is really okay with me, but it's okay if I don't have it, but I don't want to get married and can't get married. Its nature is completely different, do you understand? COWI smiled, of course she understood. But nothing in this world is absolute. What if you pretend to be honest? Yi Moonbi continued to say words that stabbed directly at Woon Sowol. That is absolutely impossible. My uncle also hopes so, but what use is that? No matter what I say, I'm his nominal husband, but he doesn't pay any attention to me. Well, you don't care, so it's me. Do you know that I'm a beauty of thousands? Are you crazy about young Moon? There are countless people who want to marry me. When I fought with the third son of the one family, I would have already won. If it wasn't for that bastard Ma Chulgi jumping in and causing trouble, I would have married him long ago. After getting married, he locked himself up for a year and a half, and as soon as he came out, he had a friendly conversation with a strange woman, and even said to buy me a gift. Woon Sowol was helpless and didn't know what to do, so he turned to his brother and sister COWI asking another question, how is Guang O Taoist? COGI Son smiled and replied, he was still the same god-like dragon whose head didn't look like its tail. With the help of the model we went into the rift. At that time he also came with us, then alone heading to the central lake. It's up to him to decide when to appear. Woon Sowol was a bit surprised. It turns out the three of you also went to the rift? It's a shame we can't meet at the rift. If it's convenient, can you tell us a little about your experience? Woon Sowol pondering, what about this? After a while, the three people collapsed on the table. Woon Sowol couldn't help but exclaim at this scene. This bit of wine probably couldn't make the monk drunk. It seemed like today they wanted to relax for a while. Just who are you? As soon as Woon Sowol finished speaking, an old woman came in from behind him. The vice master is now in Yungmoon waiting for the eldest son to arrive. Woon Sowol was surprised. This voice was so familiar. It was Bao's person. Please sect? The vice president found me. What happens next? Your intelligence is so vast. I live in a small and remote place like this and you can find it, and calling back and forth really makes me very unhappy. The old woman spoke again. Yanam Kingdom. This is the word that the vice master asked me to pass on to you. A moment later at the merchant guild near the inn. As soon as Xiao Bing saw Woon Sowol approaching, he immediately shouted congratulations, sir, congratulations. Congratulations young master, I didn't expect to get married so quickly. Are you the great beauty of the Yi family? Woon Sowol nodded straightforwardly, that's right, but why did the deputy sect master come to young Moon? Xiao Bing smiled, of course it was because he met the young master. Before, the young master asked me to find out how to get to Yanam Kingdom. At that time, my ability was limited and I could not satisfy you, so this young lady felt very sorry. Embarrassed, then when I received a response from the group, I felt like this matter was not embarrassing at all. Woon Sowol is a bit curious, what response did you receive? Xiao Bing laughed extremely cunningly, before I tell you, I want to ask a question that I have been pondering for a long time. What kind of character are you, young master? Woon Sowol calmly replied, as the person in charge of the intelligence agency, you probably already have information related to me, right? Is that still not enough? What kind of person do you feel I am? Xiao Bing crossed his arms in front of his chest and shook his head. This matter is difficult to say, but it is certain that you are the person people have paid the most attention to in recent years, even making me extremely curious, so I'm looking forward to coming to Young Moon to meet young master. Woon Sowol's face wrinkled, hearing your tone. Are you not planning to tell me information about Yanam Kingdom? Xiao Bing stroked his chin. No, I just want to take back my previous promise to use Faceless Murderer's intelligence in exchange for Yanam Kingdom's intelligence. If I did that, I would be at a loss. The reason is very simple, because that Yanam Kingdom is not on our mainland. Woon Sowol's face was full of surprise. Could it be that it is on another continent? Xiao Bing nodded. Yes, Yanam Kingdom is a country on another continent. Just like those strange wizards suddenly risking their lives to go to another continent. It already makes me feel very interested. Woon Sowol asked again, that's why you specially came here to find me? Xiao Bing shook his head, not really, I have another question to ask you.